Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about taking on growth challenges. So, what are the challenges that you're facing for growth at the moment? Most of us have had probably a little bit of challenge with the world situations, but I think also there can be personal challenges that come up in these times. So for some people, it can be the challenge of their weight or their health, or for some people, it's a challenge of work or finding meaningful work or finding work that will sustain your lifestyle, your family, or even the work of your heart, finding out what it is that your heart wants. For many people, I think this is an ongoing issue to know exactly what it is that your heart wants. And it is a bit of a journey. I did a clarity call with someone last night and, they didn't really know what to expect. Someone else had suggested that they do it. And so, we were sort of asking, how they felt. And, for some people, they never think about how they feel and they never think about what they really want. It's like getting through each day as it comes or, just going through the motions of life. And I've mentioned this example before, but they did a study with people that were near death or, in the last stages of their life. And they asked them, what they think was the most important thing to them. And I think they said they wished they'd spent more time with family. They wished that they had allowed themselves to try more things and that they'd allowed themselves to be happier. So I guess we can sometimes see happiness as the end point, but I think happiness needs to be a journey. And so, finding happiness along the way. And sometimes we can find it hard to change. Like we can see that, actually, some things I really like and some things I don't like, but what is it that really floats my boat? What is it that really I enjoy doing? Is it being creative? Is it being physical? What aspects? So let's have a chat about what the challenges are that you want to take on. What do you want to have a go at? What have you always wanted to, have a turn at? Is it a musical instrument? Is it a sport? Is it a particular holiday destination? A little hard right now, but is it changing your lifestyle? What is it that really you want to do? And if you're having trouble with that, let's ask, how would you like to feel? Because if you concentrate on how you would like to feel, we can sort of look at what's preventing you from feeling that and let's clear some energy around it. And the other clue that we get is, where is our body complaining? Which part of you is having a little story attached to it? Let me know. All right, so let's go into the sixth chakra. So someone's mentioned changing my lifestyle. I want to feel freedom. Yes, and freedom is really internal, isn't it? Like we can feel free when we go, in the outdoors and see the open sky and enjoy nature. But we also need like a freedom within. So is there something in your thinking that's holding you back? All right, so this is from Jenny Rosengrun's book. It says, I easily access my intuitive wisdom. All right, and we all have intuitive wisdom, but sometimes we're not listening. All right, so a generational component here, dad's side, dad's mum's side, group of women, about 20 generations worth, and on multiple lines. All right, and this is what comes up as a generational pattern, so not using or unable to use the power of discernment. And I think for some of us, we can have been taught to use discernment and it can be, part of our understanding. And then for other people, it can be frowned upon. It's like, you have to be logical, you have to be practical, you can't use any of that, what you feel. But I think we can have the best of both worlds. We can use our intuition to guide us and, use also the power of our brain to execute the things that we feel are important. All right, something in our timeline, time of birth, our own feeling. All right, so not doing enough physically for yourself. And of course, when you're born, you have trouble lifting your own head, don't you? And sometimes we can get very stuck in like, a work or a family or different aspects of our life, and we can kind of lose ourselves in the process. I am the loving operator of my mind. All right, also something in our genes here. Mum's side, mum's mum, and the women. Sometimes we really do need to address the generational patterns that are keeping us stuck. Sometimes the way our family thought has been passed on through our genes, and we may need to try and think a little bit differently. Yeah, Catherine said she's stuck in her comfort zone. All right, so let's go into our solar plexus chakra, and it's about like our will. What will we will into action, and what do we want to have happen? All right, every day it's getting easier to remain focused. I'm excited about all the possibilities that lay before me. I'm the perfect age to create the life I want. I give myself permission to change. Oh, good morning, Susanna. So she said, I'm stuck in pushing myself beyond my limits, which leads to total exhaustion. Yeah, it's very true and very appropriate. Okay, so another generational pattern here, mum's side, mum's dad, and the women. So Catherine's saying age is a barrier for her. Sometimes it can be a barrier, but there are some people that really don't care and they just keep doing things anyway. Yeah, my mum worked well into her 70s, and a friend of mine, her dad was still riding his bike to uni at 84. So I think age doesn't have to be a barrier. I think in this time, people can do things outside the square. All right, so if we say here I'm okay without my barriers, that's no. Now, sometimes we erect barriers to keep ourselves safe, but are they really keeping us safe, or are they keeping us stuck? All right, so we're going to go into the large intestine meridian. Now, large intestine meridian is about the transport of waste, isn't it? So it's usually active between 5 to 7 a.m. If you're in Sydney currently, we're on daylight savings, so that'd be 6 to 8. All right, and what's coming up here is irritability. And so let's say the opposite. Why am I so calm and serene and unruffled? All right, so in our timeline, age 3, age 6, age 15, 20, 52, and we might use an oil here. So cumin oil. So cumin oil is about balanced ambition. All right, so cumin also encourages individuals who struggle with a self-centered existence to dig deeper into what is causing these behaviours. Individuals often find the underlying cause may be fear of failure, not being important, not being valued, or not having enough. Cumin eases the anxiousness of these deeper emotional states, encouraging healing from within. It also invites individuals to address the scarcity mindset that drives them to overimpose their will. Additionally, cumin encourages the positive aspects of zeal that come from feeling secure, respectful, valuable, and energized without being overbearing. It teaches that healthy zeal comes from knowing why individuals pursue their cause and helps them feel confident to accomplish their life missions and goals. Yeah, sometimes we can be very focused on something at the expense of our health, or at the expense of our wealth, or at the expense of our friendships, or at the expense of other people's feelings. All right, so let's say my appetite for life is strong. This is from Kim's book, Essential Oil Affirmations. All right, I'm strong, flexible, elastic, capable, adaptable, and resilient. My nerves are calm, and I feel relaxed, warm, and comfortable in my skin. I'm a pure light being housed in human form to learn more. And I really think that's an important thing to remember, because we get very caught up in what's happening now. All right, I'm wiser and stronger from having gone through the process of healing my wounds. Okay, so we can plug in the vibration of that for now so that you can have the feeling of it. All right, also some geranium oil. So geranium is about the oil of love and trust. And so we have to love and trust that we are going to accomplish our purpose in life, that the difficulties we have are not weaknesses, but the journey to strength. All right, I release myself from the trauma of past difficult experiences that caused me to lose my trust. I forgive my mother and father's errors and set them free of any of my condemnation or judgment. I love them as they are. I release all the suppressed grief and pain. My energy is clear and at full strength, balanced and regulated. Okay. Oh, Catherine says she loves geranium oil. When I first smelt geranium oil, I thought it was disgusting. And I think that's because I didn't love and trust myself. So it didn't smell pleasant to me. It's got better. All right. So I guess if we were talking in the large intestine meridian, we're often hanging on to old emotions or things that we need to let go. It's like we need to poop them out. Okay, so let's go into our heart chakra now. All right, feelings of loss are replaced by feelings of love. Susanna said I also love this oil, however, it brings a lot of rubbish on the surface. Yep, and I guess it's stuff that has to be clean, isn't it? It's like if you have a splinter, it hurts to pull it out, but if we don't pull it out, it's going to have more hurt after when it's infected and has to come to the surface. I'm increasing in my ability to love myself and others. I create loving, successful relationships. I'm experiencing balance between my right and left brain. All right, if we say I'm ready to grow, that's strong. I'm willing to grow, that's strong. I'm able to grow, that's weak. All right, age 3 comes up again. And age 8, age 28. All right, if I ask if there's things preventing our growth, it's generational, dad's side, dad's mom, and the women. All right, overanalyzing tiny details. Yeah, sometimes we just get stuck in the details and we can't sort of move to the next step. And sometimes if we can't, like, it's good to visualize how we would like our life to be, or to imagine how we would like to feel, and to actually allow ourselves to feel that. And I guess then the throat chakra comes up now, so being able to express that. All right, and what comes up in the throat chakra is the fear of being misunderstood. I am powerful within my family. And sometimes powerful doesn't mean that you may be hugely worldly successful, but it may mean that you're able to just plug away and to be consistent and have tenacity and resilience to keep going and to keep trying. Can you imagine yourself in the situation that you're looking forward to? You need to be able to visualize yourself in that situation. How would you feel? How would you act? How would you breathe? How would you walk? What things would you do to maintain yourself in that state? And it's almost like starting to live as if you're already doing that. So Bill Davison wrote a book called Biocybernetics, and he talked about that, training your mind and going through the back door. Because if you say, I want to be happy, or I'm happy, or I'm successful, and if you've had a bad experience there, your conscious mind or your unconscious mind says, oh, no, that's yuck. So we have to then go through the back door and, like, how would it feel if, I was already successful, already happy, already healthy, or already financially independent. And, to try and suggest how you would walk and talk and act and think in those situations. What would you do differently if you were there? Okay, so what else is coming up is I feel a rush of power in an argument. And for some people, arguing is a kind of way of interaction. Some people enjoy that. Some people hate it and would rather do anything they can in their power to avoid an argument or to avoid conflict. All right, so this is also a generational component attached here to that. Dad's dad and the men. And again, some stuck emotions in the genes. All right, so feeling powerless in some area. So we've given the example before of talking about the river of prosperity. And prosperity can mean lots of things for people, different aspects. For some people, prosperity is health. For some people, prosperity is wealth. For some people, prosperity is freedom. For some people, prosperity is relationships. For some people, prosperity is adventures. So it's like, if there was a river of prosperity, some people come to the river with a thimble, some people come with a bucket, and some people come with a Mack truck. So the people that come with a thimble are pointing at the people with buckets and Mack trucks saying, look what you're doing. But there's a whole river and there's plenty for everybody. And so it's like we have to think about what is our attitude towards prosperity for ourselves. Do we have the thimble idea or the bucket idea, or are we Mack truck? If I say it's okay for me to be Mack truck, it's like, no. Something in our timeline, time of birth, mum's feeling. All right, reactions to feelings. So where are the feelings stuck in your body? Can you feel? Have a little tune into your body and tell me where they're stuck. So for some people, it's coming up in their ligaments, connective tissue, our hypothalamus, which is like the CEO of all our glandular system, our adrenal glands. All right, so Catherine's mentioned having reflux. Okay, Susanna's mentioned second chakra and breast. Thank you, Susanna. Margaret's mentioned her ankle and hip. Okay. All right, so what's coming up under the reflux is feelings of irritation. What are you irritated about? All right, also what's coming up in here is unable to be relaxed within yourself. Okay, so our grid can become damaged. So it's like we have lines in our grid. They can be horizontal lines, vertical lines, and we also have like a base grid that all our chakras sit in. So it's actually the grid lines. So grid lines in your ankle and hip, Margaret. And Susanna in the breast area. Horizontal in the breast and vertical in the legs. Okay, big breath in and out. All right, let's go into the second chakra for a moment. So we're asking where people are feeling the things in their body, where are their emotions hidden, what part is talking to you. All right, and what comes up here is I'm divinely protected and guided. So I think all of us have situations in which we don't feel protected and we don't feel guarded and safe. But if we could look at a bigger picture and to see that the awful experiences that we have had in the past have led to strength. And it's like, how else could we have learnt that? Sort of like being able to go back and look through your whole life and see the lessons and the learning and the growth that came through each of our difficult experiences is really powerful. I'm sincere and authentic in my words. I express my emotions in joyous, positive ways. I open myself to love and joy. All right, there's a generational component on the last one. Dad's side, Dad's mum, and the women. Another generational component, mum's side, mum's mum, again the women. And why am I so powerful? Again, that's a generational component, mum's side, mum's dad, and both men and women. Okay, so we can see that the things preventing us sometimes from feeling like we can be successful or feeling like we can take that next challenge and take the next step can be generational. So it's like family thinking that is within us that, when we do the generational work, we're clearing those generational patterns and changing the way that we see life and attack life. And I really love this one. Whatever I am guided to do will be a success. And any successful person can tell you that there will be ups and downs. It won't all be easy. There are some days that you're just hanging on by your fingernails. Maybe it's down to the last fingernail, but hang in there. Success means that we can still push forward even when it's difficult, that we just take one baby step after another and keep pursuing what it is that we desire. I now trust the process of life. I courageously let life flow through me joyously. I accept the past and I'm excited to move into the future. All right, time of conception. Mum's feelings and some stuck emotions. All right, what comes up here is feeling no mercy for self. I think, if we think about previous difficult times in the world, it was probably necessary to have no mercy for yourself to survive, to have to actually shut down your feelings, shut down some aspects of yourself and just to be a machine to be able to live and get through. we can be still stuck in that pattern of thinking or that way of life, which we've inherited. So it's like good to allow these things to pass. Okay, so let's check in. So how's your second chakra feeling, Susanna, in the breast area? And Margaret, your ankle and hip. And Catherine, your stomach. All right, so what also comes up in the stomach is disapproval of self or running from the self. And that's where that like unconditional love comes in, isn't it? That, I love myself when I'm thin, or I love myself when I have money in the bank, or I love myself, when I've run that marathon, or I love myself, with all sorts of situations. Okay, anyone else got areas of their body complaining? And we know that we've been given weakness to help us make that strength, but we have to ask for help and for inspiration to understand, that we need help to get past these things, that it is part of learning. It's part of learning to have faith and to pray and to ask for, divine intuition and divine support. All right, and next February we'll be doing a Energy Works online. So probably start, I think, the third Wednesday in February. Okay, if you're interested, let me know. It's a great way to do it. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day and shine, be yourself, feel the fear and do it anyway, as Susan Jeffers said in her book. Don't be scared of who you are. Don't be scared to wield your power. Don't be scared to make mistakes, because we'll learn so much more through them than just doing everything perfectly. I hope you have a great day.